Harry! He's in the living room!
Can I help you?
There's two. I don't know what they are. People in costumes.
Man, it sure was nice of Al Eliminator to invite us to his Christmas party. I didn't even know he had this many friends. What is he doing anyways? I don't know. He said there was something important he needed to get done before he could have any fun out here. Okay, wait. He better not be doing what I think he's doing. I told you to give me a minute. These are your friends. You said that you invited them. And I said that I would come and greet them once I finished this video. Come on, isn't this just derivative of what we did at the start of the year? It's called thematic resonance. You do not know what you're saying right now. Look, I'm in the final stages of editing. Just let me get this one thing done. I'll even let you look. Fine, but don't be surprised when you get most of the gifts for White Elephant. Anyone up for a victory lap? Hey guys, it's the Eliminator speaking, and we're not done with the Guardians of the Galaxy just yet. Many eagle-eyed viewers would have noticed that I excluded the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special from my Trilogy Awards video, as well as most talks about the previous movies. And the main reason for that was because I wanted a Christmas episode. On top of that, I didn't think that the Christmas special would be able to hold up to the same kind of scrutiny as a full-length feature film, considering that it's only 45 minutes. But with that, let's stop wasting time and get right to it. Honestly, I find the lead up to this special to be pretty interesting. See, about a year after the second Guardians film released, it was announced that the director of both movies, James Gunn, would be dropped from the MCU due to controversial tweets that he had made. This sparked massive backlash not only from fans of the movies, but also the cast and crew, since not only was the whistleblower outed as a pretty bad person, but it seemed pretty hypocritical on Disney's part, since they had actually done pretty worse things, as well as collaborated with notoriously controversial figures. And something I learned that was even worse about this is that this isn't even the worst thing Gunn did. See, when Guardians 1 was in production, the script was actually written by a woman named Nicole Perlman, who had been a part of Marvel's writing team. She was actually the one who wrote the story and everything for the movie, and all the stuff that happens in them is her work. Gunn simply edited it to have more of his style and film DNA all over it, but tried to take credit for writing the entire movie, which led to a smear campaign against Perlman. But getting back on topic, Gunn was eventually rehired by Disney, though a lot had changed since then, as he had actually been put on by DC to make a Suicide Squad movie, and later became one of the guiding creatives for their new cinematic universe, as the old one was being thrown out. So, with his limited time back at Marvel, Gunn worked on the script for Guardians 3, which I think he completed around 2020, though it was also revealed that he was working on another project involving the Guardians of the Galaxy, which would later be revealed in 2022. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So, let's get to it. Similar to my video on Venom Let There Be Carnage, I'm going to be talking about the story first, since it and the characters go hand in hand, with most if not all of the best parts being spoilers for the movie. So, if you haven't seen the Guardians Christmas special, go and watch it. It's only 45 minutes. But if you have, or just don't care, let's begin. In the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special, Star-Lord and co are settling into their new base of operations that they recently acquired, though due to all the work he's having to do, as well as the pain of losing Gamora, Star-Lord isn't his usual chipper self. After talking with Kraglin, Drax and Mantis learned that Star-Lord used to celebrate Christmas with the Ravagers when he was a child, and after brainstorming what to do for him for Christmas, Drax comes up with the idea to get Kevin Bacon, Star-Lord's favorite actor, over to the base. And so, he and Mantis set out to Hollywood in order to find him. Something I really like about the Guardians Christmas special is just how simple it all is. While a lot of Marvel's Disney Plus series have promising starts, it can often feel like they get dragged out past the point where they need to, or don't have enough time to actually get what they want to do done. Which is why I like Marvel's special presentations. In this case, everything really flows nicely, since there's a shorter runtime. They don't feel the need to pad anything out. Like, we start with the Guardians' new base of operations being established, then we're introduced to the whole idea of the Guardians learning about Christmas, and then we get to the main plot of Drax and Mantis trying to get the present, with no real B-plots to jump between. Another thing I like is the alterations to the tone here, since, even at their funniest, the Guardians of the Galaxy movies have pretty heavy themes with tragic characters behind them. So I like the choice to go with the lighter tone and the overall sillier story, which I'd say is best carried by its characters. So let's get to them. starting with Star-Lord. I already mentioned his personality in the story section, but otherwise Star-Lord doesn't really do much in this story, despite most of the stuff happening being done for him. At the same time though, I like how he's presented as being more mature and responsible. It's mentioned that ever since they bought Nowhere, their base of operations, they haven't had time for things like Christmas, so it makes sense that he'd be doubling down and getting things done. So it makes what the others do for him here feel a lot more impactful, since while Star-Lord isn't necessarily trying to make everyone happy, he's usually trying to keep a more upbeat attitude compared to everyone else. But with that, we're starting to veer more towards Drax and Mantis and all the stuff happening around Star-Lord. So let's move over to them. If you remember my video on the Trilogy Awards, you'll remember me saying that Drax felt like the most missed potential out of all the Guardians, next to Groot. But I feel like he's given way more to do in this story, since Star-Lord isn't the main character. Like, as I said in the story section, Drax is the one to suggest that they go to Earth to find Kevin Bacon and bring him to Star-Lord. And then when they get to Earth, he's just as helpful in the search. That, along with Mantis, his more childlike sense of wonder and optimism makes this special fun to watch. Like, the audience clearly knows better than the characters in the story, but you still want to watch them go through this and potentially succeed. Though it is funny watching Drax and Mantis' world come crashing down when Kevin Bacon reveals that he's not who they think he is. And it's even funnier when Star-Lord calls him out for basically kidnapping a guy. Honestly, Drax and Mantis' dynamic is really good. I feel it works better in this kind of format since the two are more of comic relief characters, whereas simply giving them their own subplot in Guardians 2 kind of felt like it was taking away from the flow of the story. But with that, we can finally move on to the last of the major characters in this, that being Kevin Bacon. Despite not getting a ton of screen time, I still find Kevin Bacon to be pretty entertaining. They take the usual what would normal people be like in the MCU and take it to a much greater extreme, since where other people are simply watching Drax and Mantis mess around, Kevin is directly a target for all of their antics. And so watching him run scared as Drax and Mantis try to grab him is really funny. On top of that, I like that he isn't simply a jerk. Like, he's responding logically to everything that's happening, but when he sees that the Guardians really just want to have him around to make Star-Lord happy, he comes around and steps up to perform for everyone in Nowhere before he's brought home. There's even a little Easter egg in the mid-credits scene of the third movie, showing that Kevin Bacon talked about his alien abduction to the press. But other than that, I'd say we're done with him and the major characters for the special. So, let's move on to the supporting characters. There's not much to talk about really. Since this takes place before Guardians 3, Rocket and Nebula are their usual selves, and since they're minor characters, they don't really need to grow or change. Groot is pretty stagnant along with everyone else, and Gamora is... well, not really. At this point, she's probably with the Ravagers, but again, this is before Guardians 3, so who knows where she is. But other than that, I'd say we're pretty much done talking about the Guardians Christmas special. This was a fun little side adventure, if my opinions didn't make that obvious already. Like the other Guardians movies, this one doesn't concern itself as much with the MCU's continuity, or at least it's more self-contained. And so compared to some of the other projects, you don't have to worry as much about what you've missed. On top of that, the lighter tone and short runtime means that you don't have to set aside a lot of time to go and watch it. So there. Now, let's wrap up the video. And done. Now to get to the festivities. And I was like, Wi-Fi, but I'm not married. Hey guys, what did I miss? Not much, besides a very crucial decision. Really? What was it? Well, due to your newfound obsession with blonde men, and your lack of leadership at the event, we decided to watch a bunch of cheesy Christmas movies. So, hope you like Hallmark. I'd like you to know I was completely against this. Yeah, I figured as much. Any last words? Yeah. Happy holidays, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and tell me down in the comments section. What do you think of the Guardians Christmas special? Why did or didn't you like it? Also, as a bonus question, what holidays do you celebrate? And what's your tradition for them? As always, subscribe today to join the A-list, and have a happy holiday! Bye!